Today on the channel, we continue our X-Men 97 retro card reviews with the X-Cutioner on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
Sup, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured, back with another Marvel Legends review. This time we're looking at the X-Men 97 series once again with X-Cutioner. The X-Cutioner is an interesting choice to be made into a figure for the Marvel Legends line, and, you know, particularly to be put in X-Men 97. It was a kind of obscure character from Marvel lore. I'm familiar with him from his very first appearance in Uncanny X-Men Annual number 17, way back in 1993. So he was actually introduced in comics around the same time that the X-Men cartoon even came on, was even on the air. When he was first introduced in the comics. He's kind of a weird vigilante type of dude that targets mutants in the vein of the Punisher, but he uses a bunch of weapons that he got from various captured enemies of mutants and things like that, as he was a member of the FBI. So it's kind of a cool character, but definitely more on the obscure side. This is, of course, his first figure in Marvel Legends. He's already been featured in episode 2 of X-Men 97, where he debuted to devastating impact and affected the life of one of the main X-Men. So as usual, we're going to look at the package, look at the figure, get him out, discuss it, show him off with a couple other figures, get you out of here with some final thoughts. So starting, of course, with the package, we've got X-Cutioner here in the classic, now classic X-Men 97 packaging. The X-Cutioner, he's got his weapons in there. Of course, you got your cross cell. Pretty decent render of X-Cutioner. Yeah, we're gonna see if he looks better out of the box in hand. I'm not saying he looks bad, but let's get about and see what we can see. Here is the X-Cutioner and his accessories, and you know, they're pretty cool accessories. He's got a Sentinel blaster that you know, just kind of stick on his arm. Two pole and spear type weapons. And then this, which I believe in the comic was like an alien type weapon, but in the show it served another purpose. And then you've got the X-Cutioner himself. And despite his, you know, sort of trench-coated, caped appearance, you know, he does have pretty decent posability. Despite that, just to pull him around just a little bit so you can see, he does not have any alternate hands or anything, but he does pose pretty well despite the kind of weirdness in his construction. Doesn't have much of an ab crunch, but it is there. And he does still have waist swivel. He doesn't have a boot cut. Well, yes, he does. I'm wrong. It's above his boot. It's actually above the boot. And the normal ankle articulation. Doesn't come with any extra hands or anything, but based on stuff he comes with, that's okay. You can gear him up pretty easily. Angle the gun. And he looks more or less like he does on the packaging. You can take the Sentinel blaster, put it on his arm. Doesn't accept blast effects or anything, which is kind of a bummer, but it's okay. Also doesn't stay on all that great. And you've got your fully armed X-Cutioner. So, you know, he's a pretty cool looking figure. Definitely imposing shelf figure for sure. You know, I always thought it was a cool character. And for me, he was like a one-off character. He did make other appearances in the comics, but it was, you know, it was over a long kind of period of time. And there's not a lot of appearances. The only one I actually read was his first appearance in the annual I mentioned, X-Men Annual number 17, Uncanny X-Men Annual number 17. And, you know, at that time, he was like a one-and-done character. They did give him a stat block in the Marvel Superheroes Adventure game. So that was kind of fun. You wanted to, you know, role-play adventures with him, you could do that, but he doesn't have like a massive presence in media anywhere. This is definitely his, like, getting his flowers by having a Marvel Legends figure. So, you know, with that, of course, we should bring in some X-Men. For him to have to deal with. Storm and Wolverine to face off against the X-Cutioner. Go. And I don't know. He probably doesn't have much of a chance against Storm and Wolverine. But, you know, that's what action figures are for. Tell stories. But I definitely like this guy. I think he's pretty cool. It's weird how, you know, this obscure character can come to life as an action figure and perhaps be even cooler than, you know, than the source material he came from. I think that's definitely true in this guy's case. Okay, let's move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Marvel Legends, the X-Cutioner from X-Men 97. Despite his weird articulation setup, he has plenty of posability. He looks nice with his accessories. They gave you a means of attaching all those accessories to him. I think he strikes the pose he's supposed to strike, and he turned out to be better than I kind of thought he would be. I'm going to give him a 9, where I got it figured rank. He's a new character, new tool. And while we're not bashing figures for being repaints, there's not a whole lot of repaints you can do with them. And he's pretty good as himself. Like they almost have to make another one of him to use this mold again. But he's pretty decent. And you like, you know, a lot of people like X-Men Marvel Legends. They want to have all the X-villains they could get. So this definitely checks that box. So I'm going to give him a 9. I think a 9 is appropriate here. He's a pretty good figure. Hits the nostalgia vibes for me because I read the annual that he was in way back in 93, 21 years ago, 31 years ago, excuse me. You know, this guy's gotten around a little bit. I guess, 31 years ago. So that'll do it for this one. I was trying to get this one done quickly. We've got more X-Men 97 coming, so please stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What's your experience with the X-Cutioner? Did you read any other stories that he was in? Let me know. I'm curious. Till next time, everybody stay safe. See you on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.